What's up, y'all? I'm back. And if you're here, then you're back too. Let's get into Ready Love Season 8, Episode 8. It's time for the getaway. So the couples are going to get their little weekend retreat where they can go spend a night in the house together and see like who the real connections are. The alliances ride together. In one car, you got Kat, Lee, and Aries. They're discussing how, you know, apparently Chris been over there with connecting all three of them. I'm so over like how all of a sudden these connections that were never before are now like the real connections. But in the other car, you got the men. You got Chris, Quentin, Marie. Phil wouldn't ride with them. Phil went to the house by himself. I like that about Phil. I like that he's like, look here. I'm here to see Aries. I don't gotta ride with y'all. I don't gotta discuss what my game plan is or none of that. I'm gonna go to the house in my own car. So yeah, I like that. Anyway, Jessica, Janelle, and Sierra are in the other car. Um, it's a very nice house. Tommy comes to meet, greet the singles, and he lets them know that it's the guys' week to vote, and this is their opportunity to really get to like dig deeper with their connections and see how they act when you got to spend the night with them. I don't know how much one night is supposed to change, but that sounds real cute, Tommy. Anyway, the singles like they get a little cocktail situation together, and the house is very dope, so I'm sure they're very excited to do whatever it is they're gonna do, film over there. And yeah, cheers to the freaking weekend. That's how we gonna get shit popping off over here. I said shit, but truth be told, at this point in my career, it's not gonna affect me anyway, so I'm gonna just keep on going. Anyway, Jessica and Janelle are in a room. I guess Quentin threw his luggage up in there. It's so funny how they're like trying. My daughter is washing the dishes, and I swear to goodness, she should just slam them shits up against the wall with the way she's banging things around in there. Sorry about the noise in the background. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, like how how they're copying little things. Like when what's her name? Joy. When Joy and Cliff had their luggage all up in the same room just to irritate people, I guess that's where Quentin and Janelle are, at with it. And it's fine. Nobody cares about y'all's connection. And I would say it's only because nobody believes that Quentin is for real and Janelle's kind of an asshole. So we really don't care whether she finds love or not. Truth be told, yes. I mean, somebody love it, I'm sure. Anyway, Jessica says she's done with Chris. She is not connected with him. So at this point, her only connection is Marie. And like I said, it's given alliance, to be honest, because Jessica is there. And I feel like I said it the last time. Jessica's there for Janelle, not for Marie and not for Chris either. She just like holding her homegirl down so when the votes come in, she could keep her man there. Cause ain't nobody voting for Quentin. He only like I guess he had Lee over there trying to pretend like he was about to do something, but that's not a real thing. So none of this is a real thing. That's just not how life works. Anyway, that's why I never liked dating shows. And I was listening to reviews of this one, and I got caught up in the whole elimination of it all. So kick them all off and get to the reunion, because the outside stuff, they've been doing interviews with everyone, and the stuff that's outside of the show has become more interesting than the actual show. But anyway, here we are at the retreat at the vacation home. Jessica said she's not that big on PDA, but he's trying to work with her on that. You don't want to touch him. That's why you're not that big on PDA. You and Marie are not a connect. I feel like Marie will connect with whoever says they'll connect with him, but that's neither here nor there. Y'all are like really playing this dude like a pawn. I think he thinks he's being a player, but what's really happening is y'all are keeping him around because he'll vote for you, and the numbers work in your favor. While Janelle and Jessica are talking, Quentin comes in there, they have a thing going. Like I said, I don't have nothing to say about it. They, congratulations, who cares? So it's time to like mingle, and everybody's kind of settled in at the house and did their unpacking and such. Everybody but Sierra. Sierra says she ain't bothered to unpack because she knows she don't have no connection there, but she want to keep playing anyway. Anyway, they're downstairs. The ladies are making hunch punch. Normally, when you pour that much alcohol in your punch, it's hunch punch, but I don't think anybody hunching over there. And I don't feel like Phil and Aries need any alcohol to be touching all up on each other. But Phil, I don't really think you about to get none either. Yeah, everybody is kind of infatuated with. I don't even think we're infatuated. I just think we're grateful that there's two people on this daggone season that seemingly like each other for real, but she ain't about to give you none. Not until this recording, this show part, this taping is over. Anyway, the ladies are making hunch punch, and Quentin is out butt naked barbecuing because Quentin needs to be exposing his muscles at every given chance. This is not me, this is him. He said that's what he do, and I'm just telling y'all, he said he'd be trying to be showing his muscles off all the time. I feel like Quentin and Lee, obviously they're two very attractive people, so it's not surprising that they would be attracted to each other. But I feel like Quentin and Lee need to be the sexiest body in the room. Because Lee got a badass body and Quentin got a badass body. And I don't think that's what he's looking for, is in competing with somebody in that realm. Also, I think he's a big old dude and Janelle is pretty, and there's no surprise in why he would be attracted to her, because he's like a big old dude and she's, nice and thick and, beautiful. So it's just that attitude of hers. Man, imagine if she was just nice. Imagine if she was just nice. It seems like she's got everything else going for her except for that stank ass attitude of hers. But girl, she like it. I love it. Anyway, Kat tries to talk to Quentin. He's outside butt naked barbecuing. She comes out there like, oh, Quentin, you don't have to hurt him like that. Kat just be wandering around, trying to find who's gonna keep her there. It must suck to be stuck there, like when you're really ready to leave. Which, I mean, I guess, you're there for the show. So the more exposure you get, I guess, the better. Anyway, he gives her the dry energy that he's been giving her, because he's made it up in his mind that he came there to really like put his energy into connecting with Janelle. And I mean, if you like her, I think he should do that. I didn't see him and Kat having nothing, going on between the two of them anyway. So he might as well pursue Janelle. Since that's what he like. Hell, he says she ain't too much for him. She knew too much for a lot of people, but she ain't too much for him. That's what he said. She's too much for me. So I'll be glad when I can have less of Janelle and a little more of not any of it. Anyway, Janelle comes out there, she shut that down right quick because she's not gonna have not name one of them out there spending any quality time with her man. So Kat was like, oh, hey, Janelle, come on out. I was just talking to Queen. I don't mind sharing. And Janelle said, and you're not, because he's mine. Thank you very much. So I don't mind sharing with you. And, Kat is like, Quentin, are you spoken for? And Quentin said, absolutely. So on that note, Kat, you should probably just extra stage left. Like, she said that's her man. You ask, is he spoken for? He said, not yes, not maybe, but absolutely. Absolutely. So take a walk, girl. Anyway, Phil is over there at the pool rubbing Aries' feet, and they just be smiling at each other and grinning and, Phil and Aries are on a vacation, and there's just happens to be some people there for their entertainment purposes, I suppose. Chris and Lee apparently are a connect that we did not know about until episode 8. But she said they talk every day. Now, again, if you and Chris are talking every day, then how come y'all ain't never said that y'all was each other's top? Because he been saying Jessica, who he seems to hate a whole lot, doesn't like her not even a little bit. And who else was he saying? Aries, who pretty much made it clear, I'm sure, in the beginning that she's not trying to be his mama. And even though she gives that sweet energy, she's not a pushover, and she's not finna servitude your ass. So, there's that. And he walks around telling everybody he gonna pay their bills because women shouldn't be having to pay bills. So they all be like, what? They talk about a dream date, Chris and Lee do. And she said her dream date is to have her man like whisk her away and they just go away somewhere and don't worry about packing anything. And, they'll just buy it all when they get there. It sounds like a Lifetime movie. I guess, girl, I really would rather have my things. Like, as cute as that sounds, I really would have can we pack our things and then pick up some other things? I don't really want to go. Like, I don't want to be on my vacation, having to go shopping because I didn't bring nothing with me. But hey, this is her dream date, not mine. So they bonding over being overpackers. So they might as well just get the stuff when they get there. So back over on the barbecue side, Quentin, he's still doing his barbecue thing. I guess Janelle's somewhere off camera, staring at her butt naked man with a chef apron on, grill things on the grill. Keep your things away from the food, Quentin. Just saying. So who we got? We got Jessica, Marie. No, actually, what's this girl? Janelle was sitting at the table. So Quentin is doing the cooking, and you got Jessica, Janelle, and Sierra sitting at the table. Sierra's sitting there telling the ladies like how she ain't even unpack her stuff because they playing over here. Ain't nobody like putting the pressure. She waiting on somebody to make a move on her, and then they just not doing it. Okay, Sierra. Sierra's a lot. I like her. I think she's got a fun personality, but if you're looking for a man, you have to calm down a little bit and pay attention. Because it don't you be too busy focused on the joke. Anyway, Maria came over there and he sat down next to Jessica. When he did that, Sierra said, well, come sit by me. That was a little thirsty because when he sat down, he was letting you know right then where his interest was, Sierra. But I mean, I guess, rather than be rude, he got up and went on to the other end of the table and sat next to Sierra where she pressured him. Well, what she told him, she was used to pressure. He ain't, the people that was supposed to be her connection, name you, Mario, supposed to be her connection. You're not putting enough pressure on. You're not doing the things that she's used to having done for her. And Maria at that point is like, let's just go have this conversation in private because I would prefer not to have to answer you in front of Jessica, who's not my connection either. I just like her better. So then, they're sitting there having a little conversation. She said, she wants somebody to woo her and she doesn't want to have to teach a man like the basics on how to treat her. To be honest, I don't know what he said. Something about you need to reach out back to, he wants to, be on the receiving end of the affection as well. He did say something about like, I text you and then, when are you texting me back? So it seems like as much as she's talking, like in the past, the whole idea of being chased has come up, but she seemed like she want to be chased too, which is silly. Like if you want the man to call you and then he calls you and then you don't answer the phone or call him back, she says she's busy, but he said he's busy too. Now I don't know what he's busy doing, and I don't know what she's busy doing either. I mean, she's a stylist, so and seemingly doing well at it. So anytime you are successful in whatever it is you're doing, you're probably busy. So what else, child? Mario said, seems like to him, Sierra is still very guarded and not probably as ready to love as he is. I want to slap his ass off that chair. Everybody in the kitchen, it's time to eat. It's a whole lot of everybody getting their plate and getting, all that good chicken and stuff that has been cooked on the grill. I mean, they had look a little spread. It looked like some things and some aluminum foil, containers and stuff. And so they was finna throw down. And everybody's making their place except Marie because Jessica has decided that she gonna serve her man his plate. And he over at the table, making requests about what types of chicken he likes. And, girl, I guess if that's what y'all gonna do, I feel like she was actually making Marie's plate to show Chris that she can be a servitude if she wants to be. And I feel like she can be. I feel like it's just nobody there that's gonna make her feel all soft and squishy, like, Chris wants her to be. You got to bring her there. And I think it's definitely doable. But if she, in the meantime, has things to do and don't have time to play with you, Chris, and your rules. Speaking of, it's game time. I don't know what the rules are to this game, but I know there's a lot of questions. Question one. Have you ever slept with someone of the same sex? Well, right away, Sierra jumped up. Yes, I have. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it's not my thing because I can't take the girl home to my mama. I guess that's gonna be something that her mother's not okay with. And she can't get pregnant. Yeah, you can, but that's a whole nother subject altogether. And she can't collect child support, which what? You always got a good joke, girl. Keep the room knee slapping. Body count. Nobody needs to be answering any questions about any body count. So next question. Do you think you've ever met the love of your life or ever run into the love of your life? Marie said he doesn't even think he's experienced love, which is strange because you said your baby mama was still having a relationship with her ex or something. You didn't say she cheated, but you did imply that she cheated. And you have a whole child. So you haven't experienced no kind of love, like not puppy love, not nothing, because I feel like people be writing off puppy love, but it's a necessary step in the process of love, as far as I'm concerned. It's that first one out there, when you're young and innocent, and that gets you like introduced to what these feelings and emotions can do to you. So, he said he ready to experience something he's never received in his life. And the ladies were like, oh, yeah, talk that talk, Mario. And I'm thinking, hello, that's a red flag. Don't do it. Don't be the first time that he experiences love in his whole life. I don't believe him. I'm just saying. If that's true, it seems like a lot of work. I'm just saying. It just seems like, how are you going to know? How are you going to know? Everything, okay, Marie. Next question. How do you feel about gender roles? Chris said, Chris said he doesn't believe in the equality that society has set for today. And then everybody had a crazy look on their face. And then he stepped in a little bit deeper and said, you see a lot of men as leaders because the women are emotional. Well, whatever little kind of hope they had in Chris, he lost it. He lost everyone in that moment. Everybody was pretty much like, bruh, if that's what you believe, you should probably not say that. Not in this room full of all of these very beautiful, independent women who take care of themselves. Now, Sierra's immediate response was men are emotional as fuck. And that part is very true. I feel like they're way more emotional than women. What's her name? Janelle was over here trying to get all biblical with it. And so I stopped listening. Jessica very calmly said, none of that matters. she said she doesn't subscribe to the whole masculine thing. Soon as she, now, first of all, we're playing a game. Everybody in the room is supposed to be participating in this conversation. So I'm not sure why, if Jessica opens her mouth. Like I said, Sierra was over here talking about men are emotional as fuck. And, Jessica very calmly, as far as I'm concerned, because y'all like to call this lady loud, entered herself into the conversation. And Chris's response was, Jessica always wants to argue. Was she arguing or was she participating in the conversation and giving her opinion? Isn't she allowed to have one, or is that part of your, I don't subscribe to that whole equality thing? Sorry, Jessica, no opinions allowed over here. That's not servitude. Just saying. He said if she doesn't change, why does she need to change? Just because you're not her person, Chris, doesn't mean that she needs to change. But he said if she don't change, she's gonna be a cat lady over here. I don't know where he got that from. I got that Jessica don't like your very antiquated male chauvinist ass point of view. And Mario, she just don't want to touch you because if she has somebody there that she was feeling, then I don't think her PDA would be a problem. So she just don't want you rubbing and touching on her front these cameras because she ain't feeling you like that. Chris said he doesn't believe the women should pay the bills. That's how he gets them. Chris is out here offering to pay bills, and just for one quick second, because it's hard out here for a pimp, the ladies keep going, yeah, I like it. I like what you're saying. That's what Sierra said. She said, yeah. Now that part I like, her and Kat both. But see, you can't have it both ways because Chris is over here paying all the bills. Trust and believe your opinions don't count. All you're going to have to do is, whatever his list of things to do is, and, try to stay. Next, he going to be like, that shirt has too much cleavage. You're going to have to cover that up. Kat, you know how you like to walk around here being cute? I think of you and Lee with your booty over there. If you align yourself with Chris, who wants to pay all the bills, you have to do what he say to. That's all I'm saying. Janelle is offer up her point of view as soon as Kat gives her point of view on this subject of masculine versus feminine and gender roles and such. Soon as Kat says something, Janelle like gives that very snappy, shut your ass up energy. And so Kat just was kind of tired of it. And she was like, girl, I'm just really so sick of your snippy ass attitude. It's okay to participate in the conversation, but your delivery is trash. And it is, because the energy comes through the TV. And it's unpleasant. So I can imagine how bad it is sitting there in the room with her, trying to, put her mouth all over everybody's conversation. In the confessional, and maybe a little bit to her boyfriend, Quentin, Janelle is all, I don't know why people keep coming at me. I don't bother nobody. I just be being over here, being the soft, sweet, feminine flower. And one that takes care of herself, though, so very well, and can be a strong support system for her man, that girl. Well, I don't know why they keep coming for me with their ugly ass. Why are we calling people ugly? Ain't nobody there ugly. That's not nice, girl. Your attitude is ugly. Quentin said he was kind of disappointed because, he wants his woman to be mature. Well, just because her ass is 41 don't make her mature. She's actually the complete opposite of mature. That's why I don't believe nothing you're saying. I think you just want to squish on her and, smash a little bit and then tell her that you're not ready to commit, because that's what your last girlfriend said. Your last girlfriend didn't have this angry ass energy either. I'm just saying, like, she was more pleasant. Marie and Sierra are sitting outside, still, trying to make not a thing a thing. Now, all of a sudden, Sierra has had this revelation that because Marie has never experienced love, he doesn't know how to give it. And her expectations for him were just a little too high. So she should probably just let go of all of her standards and expectations, and she should just throw all of that out and go ahead and pour it to him so he can learn how to love. Or you could just call the Springer man and take your ass home, because nobody, girl, what has he done to make you even think like that would be a direction to go in? You don't even think he was pursuing you enough. I'm like, he not even giving you no type of energy. You had to beg him to come sit next to you. Now all of a sudden you want to pour all your energy into making sure that he understands what love feels like. Girl, stop playing. She need to put in more effort. She need to go home. Soon as Maria got done with that conversation with this girl Sierra, he went straight over to Jessica. Jessica did not feel like being bothered. She said she had a long day. She'd been putting some work in because she has a business and she's a whole ass boss. Now she fixed to stretch out and she's tired. She going to bed. And he like, what did you think? Talking about I bought you your soap and your candle and I thought you were gonna need to take a shower. She's like, nope, did that already. Sorry. I'm about to lay down. You've been out there hanging out with Sierra, what have you, and I'm not really that interested in you anyway. So, I'm definitely not gonna stay up late just because you're here. She didn't actually say all that, but I feel like that's what was going on in her head, because that's what was going on in my head. And she looked at him, she's like, so like what time did your day start? And he said 12-ish. And then she gave him a look like, what? And so then he said 11:30-ish. No, 12-ish, 1:30-ish. That's where your day starts. See, this is what I'm talking about with Marie. I don't know what he does. I do know that entrepreneurs, because people like to throw that word around, entrepreneur, a lot. I do know that entrepreneurs tend to work even harder, like all the time. See, the whole idea of being an entrepreneur is not less work. It's just work without having, to be under somebody else's thumb. You know what I'm saying? It's not work, Maria. So you cannot, be successful. What are you in the studio till 5 o'clock in the morning? Mr. Healthy Living? Ciao. Anyway, he wasn't really feeling like the vibe that she was giving him. So he said, listen here, he still has two other connections. That would be Sierra and Kat. Now, I don't know when Kat became his connection. I'm guessing that when shit popped off with Janelle, Mario went and took Kat to the side and tried to give her a little, it's okay, sis, pep talk. And in that moment, did they connect? Because I haven't seen them connect at any other time. But hell, seems like a whole lot of stuff been going on that I wasn't privy to. So I guess this should be no different. But anyway, like out of the blue, Kat is one of his connections that he's never once, I don't think, said out of his mouth ever in any other episode until just now. So all of a sudden he's connected to Kat and he's connected to Sierra. He hopes it's not too late, like because she did say she was going to start pouring into him, and he thinks that's probably worth like exploring. So he's gonna have to switch it up because Jessica is not it. So now Jessica has Chris kick her to the curb, and seemingly Mario is trying to do the same thing. He said, basically, this is Jessica's race to win, to lose. This is Jessica's race to lose. What is she racing to do? Wake your ass up before noon? Fuck out of here, Marie. Phil over here rubbing Aries' feet. I'm not going to talk about Phil and Aries because they over here like waiting for these cameras to shut off so they can, get into some things. Because if I was Aries, I would get into some things. Like if y'all over here like touching feet, you ain't finna just let anybody touch your feet, I feel like. I don't want no foot rub from somebody that I'm not finna get some booty to. I just don't. It's just, What else happened, y'all? Chris and Kat had a little, get together. It's cute. They was, having breakfast and everybody was kind of breaking off to get deeper in their connections. So, Chris and Kat have a little thing. He likes her because she likes to play that little soft, girly role. She's very content and happy in that space, in her feminine space, she said. And I get it. I also don't think you're about to let somebody tell you what to do, but that's okay too. But she's soft enough for him and not loud. So, he's considering that as a number on his checklist because we know he wants to stay around. They, have a similar culture. They talk about, some of the games that he plays in his family playing. They play Hunger Games, and if you have to have a child in order to play. If you don't have one, you can borrow one of the children here as long as you bring it back. That's what he said. I'm not even making it up. He also said that it's different over here in the United States, that people are very singular, and that in his culture, like when his mother passed away, that the people in his country, I think it's Nigeria, I'm pretty sure Nigeria, the people in his country, like, pay for the burial, like they band together to make sure people are taken care of. And I think that's great, except for the part where the insurance covers other things, like aside from the burial, I feel like when you leave people behind, there are expenses that need to be handled a lot of the time. So, don't be selfish, Chris, and leaving, the shit that you leave behind for your parents. Even like if you have children, especially, they need to have some type of money to give them a leg up and transition for not having their parents. So Chris, look into that a little bit deeper. I think you missing the mark on that one. Lee teaches the class. We get to see Lee do her fitness thing. And, Janelle don't even want to be here. I ain't asked to be stepping on those steppers and none of this stuff. I don't even know how to be here. That's just typical Janelle energy. If it's not about her, she doesn't want to have nothing to do with it, especially when it involves, the other squad, the other alliance. So the whole time everybody is exercising, I don't know, she might have did a little something, step one, step two, just to not be a complete asshole. But yeah, she just sat in the corner with that sour ass face. It's interesting because everybody was like participating. I tell you what, Lee's body is body, addy. So whatever steps she's doing, I'm doing them too if I can get anywhere close to that. Yeah. Everybody was participating except Janelle. So it's time for the fellas to talk to Tommy. It's time to deliberate. We're going to see like who's everybody's top, who's everybody's bottom, because at the end of the day, somebody got to go. And I don't know why there's only 4 men and 6 women. Two people need to go. Let's balance this thing out because it's just getting stupid. And then women are wandering around from man to man. Like, are you still like me? You want to talk to me? It's a little stupid. But so let's get to these tops and these bottoms. Chris said his top is Lee and Kat. Did he even say that last week? I mean, the last men's elimination. Did he mention that at all last time, or was he still saying Aries? And we've been going between Aries and Jessica this whole time. Now all of a sudden they're out, and Chris and Kat is at the top. I mean, Lee and Kat is at the top. Okay, Quinn says Janelle. One thing about Quentin, he said Janelle from the beginning. He's been saying Janelle every week, ever since then. So Quentin, we know what it is. It's Janelle, and I respect him for that, for not, at least not being like, let me see. He said Lee, but I think it was clear Lee was never his top. She was always after Janelle. So eventually she was going to fall off anyway. Mario, his top is Sierra and Kat. What? When? He still like Jessica though. So he got Jessica, Kat, and look, Mario sitting in that chair with his stomach sitting up high, talking about he connected to Sierra, Kat, and Jessica. Phil said Cat is at his bottom. They ain't connecting, and ain't nothing. He know what he doing over here. He just like Quentin. It's Aries for him. So if it's anybody that he don't talk to, it's Cat. He said everything is really surface with them. They ain't doing nothing to get deeper. But I think that's how it is with Cat with all of them. Chris said Jessica's at his bottom because the bitch don't know how to shut her mouth. She's always being combative. Okay, maybe I made that worse than what he actually said, but he did say she was combative, and I was like, okay. I think Jessica definitely has a brash demeanor. It's not warm and fuzzy, it's not necessarily welcoming. I feel like she can be that way if you get to know her, but she just ain't really doing all that, and that's okay, that's fine. But I think the negative labels that have been put on her is not fair. And all of the labels, it seems like that she's getting, Janelle really should be getting them. Because she's the one, and I don't care what you say about editing. This is Lady B acting a damn fool, and I've seen her live. But no editing. There wasn't no producer. It was just her acting an ass on live. Talking about she still put her hands on people and she will pull up, and she absolutely did pull up. What in the hell can you be pulling up at this lady's house for what? Over who? She ain't even connected to Quentin. That's your connection. And I watched it a long time ago. I feel like based on the nonsense she was saying, it's even worse. Like, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, Quentin says Sierra is his bottom. He said something about her being into fashion and labels, and that was unnecessary. Quentin. She's a stylist. I mean, I do hear her. She threw out Louis. Like, Sierra, don't be throwing out labels because it makes people uncomfortable when they ain't got it. So when you throw out labels, I guess you need to be around people who got it, because for those who don't, and look, I'm not a label girl. I don't have no Louis Vuitton. And truth be told, I'm about to spend my money on one. But if somebody wanted to gift me one, I would certainly carry that bad boy. Anyway. On to the bottom. The bottom two. The bottom two are Sierra and Jessica. Marie has to do the deliberation because, let's see. Well, let's list all his qualities. He's an entrepreneur. He's a health and, healthy life, healthy living coach. He's a improv actor. And this week he's a pastor, deacon, preaching, or such sort. Anyway, he said, I have two women standing in front of me, but I only have one photo in my hand. Jessica, although you're very strong, independent, and self-sufficient, some of the fellas think you're a little combative and you don't really show your softer sides. And by the fellas, I mean Chris. Chris said that. Chris said you were a combative, argumentative bitch that won't shut the fuck up while he trying to say what he needs to say. I still like you. And I did buy you some soap. When I came to visit you, you blew me off. So I'm a little irritated by that. Anyway, Sierra, the men think you're very bubbly and they love your energy, but you play too damn much. And so we don't know when to take you seriously because you don't never give us a serious moment. Everything is a daggone joke for you. So cliffhanger. This was really unnecessary. Y'all could have just sent both of them home because at the end of the day, they don't like anybody there. That's all. Next week so they show Chris sitting there at this table. They don't show who he's talking to, but he's sitting there having a conversation with someone, and he says, I'm trying to respect you as a woman. You don't know anything about me. So fuck you and fuck everything about you. Now, Chris, that seems real emotional. And I don't know how I can let you be in charge of anything if you're going to be over here giving people the fuckity fucks. Because that's not soft and that's not nice. That's not nice, Chris. I told y'all he was full of shit in the first place. All that smiling and soft whispering and shit. Now the monster is coming out. He said he could switch it off. I ain't seen him switch it off yet. Matter of fact, his switch is turning up and up and up and up. It's getting hot in here based on the lights that he got turned on. Who that? Anyway, y'all, based on the slight interruption, I'm at the end anyway. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see who gets eliminated on the next episode. Bye, y'all.